Is this your first time flying?
What makes you ask?
Well, you look a little queasy.
I guess I'm nervous. But not about the flight.
We have time if you want to share what's on your mind.
I haven't been home in a while.
When you say home, can you tell me what home means to you?
I don't understand what you are asking me.
Well, home means different things to different people. For example, for me, home means my favorite chair and other such comforts. I wonder what home means for you.
Well, for me, home is surely nothing to look forward to. You see, my husband and I, and our 2 sons, Machlon and Killian, left Bethlehem about 10 years ago when a famine devastated our land and we escaped to the fields of Moab. We had so much back then, before we went into exile. A family, money, servants really. We were the wealthiest people in town. Everyone admired us. And I had my looks. Well, I was never a beauty, mind you, but I was always pleasant to look at. I was so happy then. I had so much, I don't want to even think about what awaits me back home in Bethlehem. I can already envision the crowds of people there when I arrive. I am sure they will be aghast at what I've become. They will see that I have turned into a lonely, sad, old woman. Oh, how they will pity me, or perhaps they will mock me. I just can't bear the thought.
It sounds like you have had a tragic reversal of fortune.
You don't know the half of it. My husband died shortly after we arrived in the land of Moab. Then, there I was, stuck in a place where I had no friends, no family, not even a fellow Jew to be found. I had to mourn alone.
I once had a significant loss in my life, and I know how important it is to have a support system around you. It must have been terribly lonely to endure such a tragedy without having people to support you.
I cannot even begin to tell you how difficult it was for me, having to raise 2 young sons as a single mother and in a strange land, no less. And if that wasn't enough of a curse, I had to watch both of my sons intermarry because the only women they met were Moabites. Imagine. I should have 2 daughters-in-law who are not Jewish.
So you feel cursed. Can you say more about this?
I feel God is afflicting me. It is so unfair that I should suffer like this. Do I deserve this punishment?
Why would you think God is punishing you?
I can't get it out of my head that maybe God is playing me back for my husband's wrongdoings or because I did not do anything to stop him. I should never have take us out of Israel. We had plenty of money to survive this famine. But I know that the reason he wanted to leave is because he was afraid that we would have to share what we had, and then we ourselves would have been reduced to poverty. Or hungry mobs would have robbed us of our fortune. It was selfish to leave, and I knew that at the time. We turned our backs on them, and now God has driven me into poverty. I suppose that God is making me suffer the misfortune that the others did, those that we left behind. If we had acted more generously, it might all be different now.
As I'm listening to you, I'm sensing some regret that you and your husband acted as you did.
I suppose so. Yes. And actually, I haven't even told you everything. The story actually gets worse. First one of my sons died, and then the other one died. I don't understand. I was a caring mother, and I sacrificed so much for them. I did everything I could to protect them and make the best out of our unhappy circumstances.
My goodness. You have certainly had much heartbreak in your life. The way you described trying to shield them, they couldn't have asked for a more devoted and nurturing mother.
I gave everything to them. And yet, here I am, left childless. I don't even have the possibility of ever having a grandchild. If only I could have had a grandchild. That alone would have given me a reason to live.
I cannot even begin to imagine what it must feel like to have your whole identity stripped from you.
That is true. Just look at me. I'm a shell of what I once was. It's gotten so that I don't even recognize myself. If someone were to call me by my name, Naomi, at this moment, I doubt that I would even turn around.
It seems like you are finding it impossible to reconcile who you are now with who you were before all these tragedies.
Yes. That's why I need to leave. Start over. I really have no choice. Both of my daughters-in-law want to leave with me. But I tell them, why leave your home? All that you know, a chance to marry again and have children. Why? just to follow an old woman who cannot care for you? It's ridiculous. I think I have finally talked some sense into one of them, Orpah. It seems she understands that she will be better off if she stays behind. But the other one, Ruth, has literally been clinging to me, refusing to let go. She claims that she wants to go wherever I go, live wherever I live, die wherever I die. She even wants to convert and become a Jew. So attached to me, she is. I know that Ruth is just being kind, but frankly, the way I feel right now, I just want to be left alone.
I'm wondering if you are feeling so broken that it is hard for you to appreciate or receive any gestures of trust that Ruth might be expressing toward you.
That is right. I am feeling so disgusted and empty that I can't envision ever caring about anyone or anything again.
If I were in your place, I think I would be feeling sick at heart. May I offer a prayer for you?
I can't imagine it will do any good, but sure, if you want to. I suppose it can't make things worse than they already are.
What would you like me to ask God to focus on for you?
Again, I'm not sure it can make a difference, but if I could ask for anything, it would be that something good could happen to me again, that there might be an end to this terrible suffering.
And what name would you like to be known by in our prayer?
Naomi. Yes. Definitely Naomi.
Okay, you probably already know that in Hebrew the word neshama, soul, has the same root as the word neshima, meaning breath. So let's take a moment to breathe and to tune our soul to whatever God has to offer. Dear God, I am here with Naomi, who is making her way back home. Naomi is feeling so much anguish after having experienced unimaginable suffering over the past 10 years. She left home, lost her husband and 2 children, and now finds herself homeless and alone. Please help her feel your compassion, emerge from this exile, and find the will and the strength to move on with her life. May she begin to recognize and accept the goodness and kindness of others. Grant her a safe journey back to the land of Israel, and towards healing and wholeness in her life. Amen.
From your mouth to God's ears. Thank you. I haven't shared this with anyone before. Thank you for listening and not judging me. You have a real gift.
Thank you. I also have a lot of training.
Tell me more about that.
I'm a board-certified chaplain, working in the healthcare field.
So you are a rabbi?
No. You don't need to be a rabbi to become a chaplain, but you do need a lot of clinical training.
Perhaps I'll look into it myself one day, once all this is behind me.
I think you would have a lot to offer.